Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Behind the Voices with your host, Derek Stephen Prince. On today's show, we have the esteemed Quinton Flynn. Hey, everybody, how are you guys doing? So, this is a big first for us, as this is the first time we're doing a actual Facebook Live video stream. Just as a reminder to all of you guys, Twitch is taking a little bit of a break today to kind of honor the other streamers as well as some of the followers of the streamers, to recognize the fact that, unfortunately, still in this day and age, there's a lot of sexual harassment, there's a lot of bullying, a lot of, just bad stuff that's going on. And it's kind of measuring into the Twitch channels, so to speak. So all of the users are doing a blackout at this time, which is why we have converted today's segment of Behind the Voices to here. So welcome, all of you that have decided to join us today. So for those of you guys who may not be as familiar with Mr. Flynn's work, let me go ahead and just kind of rattle off a few for you, just because. So obviously, Axel in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, Iruka Umino in the Naruto franchise. He also plays what is it? Blah, 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 blah. It's escaping me. Hang on one second. Hang on, because I got it right here. It's what is it? It's Silver the Hedgehog from the Sonic franchise.
It's no use.
And of course, our lovable Meerkat from Timon and Pumbaa. Timon.
Yes, of course. Wonderful.
Many of you guys may not know this, but this very esteemed voice actor is also a voice impersonator. Or impersonator really isn't the right word to use these days, is it?
You might call me an impressionist.
Impressionist. That's a much better word. I was very, in looking over some of your credits, Quinton, in looking over some of your credits, I was very impressed that one of the more recent ones that you did was Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did Morgan Freeman.
And that was for Breaking News Fake Trump Cartoons.
Yep.
What are you also is Cartoon Hookup, is that still going on these days, or no, have they stopped?
They haven't. I don't know if that's a good question. They may still be doing some. We haven't done any new Deadpools in a while.
Okay. Yeah, but you've done Deadpool, obviously.
Yeah.
Sure. And for all you Digimon fans, the most recent thing you've done is for the video game Digital World Next Order, where he plowed Shima. Man, my mouth today, it's crazy. Shoma Suzuki. Yes.
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 Awesome. And of course, plethora of other voices as well. For those people who may not know as much about you as I do,
Yes.
why don't you go ahead and start off and share with everybody how the origin of Quinton Flynn, the voice actor, how did the origin story come into play?
The origin story of
Yes.
Quinton Flynn. Dun, 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 dun. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
And we were in the city for a little bit until we moved to the Heights, and then we moved from Cleveland Heights to Mayfield Village, a wonderful rural area in which my brother Bart and I played and just used our imaginations and got into the fine arts of drawing and painting and whatnot. And it was somewhere, well, in grade school, actually, that I got into drama, but I actually started doing impressions at the age of 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a couple of your impressions at the age of 8. What were those like?
It was the 70s. 70s, so it was it was Johnny Carson,
Nice.
Bill House Nixon,
Right.
As well as the Beatles, Paul McCartney, that's the thing.
Yeah.
John Lennon doing John. You were doing Humphrey Bogart back then. Well, how are you, sweetheart?
Right. Right.
So any impressions that Rich Little, John Biner, Frank Gorshin, or Fred Travellina did, we did.
Okay.
You would just do their impressions.
Yeah.
As well as impressions of other friends. So impressions of impressionists, impressions, and friends.
Yes.
And, of course, my voice hadn't changed, so Nixon probably sounded like, I am not a crook. But to my head, it was, I am not a crook.
Right.
And in the future, you'll see me on Futurama. Just my head. And then in high school, I segued from fine arts to performing arts because I had reached a peak with my teacher, a kind of a stumbling block. He wasn't very, I don't know how to say it, supportive. And art started to feel like math to me. So by 9th grade, my freshman year of high school, a buddy of mine said, let's do the plays,
Right.
My brother Dan does them. He has a ball. He loves them. And I'm like, I'm a little nervous. He goes, there's girls. I went, I'm in. So I auditioned. I got into Cinderella as my first play. My first role was a page. It's called Page Paul. I remember coming out, and there's the footlights and there's the audience, and I've got my staff and a banner, and I look out to my left and I see them, and I see the lights, and I hear the laughter and the joy, and I thought, I'm hooked. So did 11 out of 12 plays in 4 years. Then I shuttled off to university. I went to Kent State University, where I studied radio, television, film, and theater. Originally, I went to Bowling Green before that, forgive me, for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And studied pop culture, radio, TV as well. But it was at Kent State where I had a radio show, sketch TV show, that was comedy, and got my internship at a public access cable station to learn in the field, shooting TV, in the station, hosting this alternative video music program that predated MTV's 120 Minutes, being an on-camera commercial talent. I mean, learning everything extra in addition to theater that you and I know.
You are right.
Getting that hands-on stuff. And then after that, taking a summer workshop for voice acting in Cleveland.
Okay.
Thinking there might be something here, like maybe this is a business I didn't know about. Perhaps I could lend my talents to it. And that's when I found out, ladies and gentlemen, along with Derek Stephen Prince, there's a lot more to voice acting than just your voice.
Yes.
But that could be a whole other podcast.
Yes. So that's where it all began.
That's where it all began. That's, minus some of the crazy stories,
right,
as we know, that always happen. But those are the basic fundamentals. And then I trekked out to LA 10 months after college.
Okay, so help me with the timeline. So you trek out to LA, and then you start doing some. Did you start doing some on camera and voiceover stuff out here?
A little bit, but it would take some time.
Right.
First, I would have a steady job. Then I would do some improv and sketch comedy as well as training at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, where I was doing more, proper theatrical stuff.
Right.
Character work. Then I got involved in production, which I was grateful for. I actually got it from someone who had no production background, hadn't studied it, hadn't an interest, said, hey man, you want this job? I can make more money in food prep. I said, I actually have a degree. Yes, I will take that job. So I worked with CBS for TV development, which was awesome. And at that time is when I started making my demo on the side.
Okay.
And so as I said, I'd done some extra work, I'd done some stand-in work, and then I had did a little guest spot on a TV show, but wasn't well, I was credited, but small role.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Called Leap of Faith.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had the extraordinary title of Man from Bar. Like the man from Uncle, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the most of it with Ken Marino. And around that time, I put together this demo, and I was shopping it, and I was knocking on the doors. It was like a Hollywood movie, you know. It was like, hey, how are you? I got my wares. Can I sell them?
Right.
No.
Right.
Until Sandy Schnarr of Sandy Schnarr Talent said, yeah, we need you. I like you, and let's do this thing. And that was the beginning of it all, which, as you know, is auditions.
Yes.
So that's where it all started.
Where did almost Saturday Night Live fit in?
That came many years later.
Okay.
Yeah, 2003.
2003.
I was doing a sketch improv class with a woman named Ann Beats.
Mm-hmm.
She's a really well-respected and a Emmy Award-winning writer from the first 5 years of Saturday Night Live. And so she asked people in the room what they wanted to do, and it got to me, and I said, be on Saturday Night Live. And she was like, well, all right, let's see.
Okay.
So we did a killer show that year. I put together a demo, and she, Margaret Cho, and Molly Shannon all gave me endorsements.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It was wonderful. And I sent it off to New York, and thank God the proof was in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, sure, come on out and audition. And I went out to audition at Stand Up New York along with all these other hopefuls.
Yep.
And what we didn't know is that the audience didn't know what they were going to see.
Mm.
I said, so they think they're seeing stand-ups or something? Yeah. That's a full house. I said, I'm supposed to adapt to that?
Oh, dear.
Well, what's the list? We'll let you know just before showtime. So just before showtime, it's, hey, guys, come on. Check this out. All right, ready? Here's the list. Number 1, Quinton Flynn. Number 2, Fear. Number 3, Loathing. I mean, I was just, I am screwed. And so I auditioned well. I improvised with the crowd. Afterwards, I escaped to the men's room, and on my way out, ran into Lorne Michaels. And he said, he, of course, anyone who doesn't know, is the creator of Saturday Night Live, still executive producer. And he said to me, good job. Which, of course, Ann told me later, that's like getting a blessing from the Pope. It's a good thing I washed my hands. So, but I took that blessing, and the next day they called me in to Studio 8H at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, and there I was, what they call at home base.
Yep.
On the platform. They had the red velvet curtain behind me, kind of like you did back in the day with Andy Kaufman and George Carlin and Richard Pryor and
Yes.
so many.
Yes.
And they put me in makeup. They got me out there. The camera op came over to me. He had headphones on just like you. And he said to me, hey, as he's putting on the mic, I'm putting on your lav. Now you'll notice over my right shoulder to your left in the shadows, a bunch of people you can't see. That's Lorne and Marcy and Mike and Ayala. And they're not going to laugh when you do your performance. But don't feel bad. You just keep doing what you're doing. You look good. Need anything? And I went, how about an audience? And so I just did my thing, and I actually improvised a couple things I hadn't done the night before. They liked it a lot. They really liked me. But that year they decided to go a different direction. They went with Finesse Mitchell, who was on for 3 seasons, and Kenan Thompson, who is still there to this day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I'm Caucasian, but I can be an authentic African American, I assure you. I get a tossed salad that knocked the critics on their ass. Those just fans out there.
Are you still with Sandy?
What's that?
Are you still with Sandy?
I'm not. I actually, until recently, was with William Morris Endeavor.
Okay.
And they have closed their doors to the world.
Oh, really?
Just for their voiceover department.
Oh.
So I am currently a free agent.
Are you? Well then.
And I'm seeking.
Well then.
So that's what how about that?
I might talk to you after the show.
All right, fair enough.
Assuming you have representation now,
Correct.
What would most of the industry go to you for specifically? It's like, I need Quinton Flynn to do the voice impression of blank. Who would that person be? Like, you're the go-to person for this person.
That's an excellent question. I think I would have to probably advertise that more, because it turns out I have to audition for more of these sound-alikes. As you know, if there's somebody in your corner who's a strong agent and an advocate for you,
yes,
they kind of spread that word to those in the know.
Of course.
That said, I did audition for and book the role of a sound-alike for Frank Sinatra.
Really?
Yeah, for the show Mindhunters.
Now, talking and singing, or just
speaking?
Just speaking.
And this is for a TV show, Mindhunters, which is directed by David Fincher on Netflix. Fincher's brilliant. He did Fight Club. He did, gosh, what else? I'm starting to blank at the moment. He's done a lot of brilliant work. Oh, the movie with, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Anyway, he's fantastic. But that came through a general audition through my agent. As did some of the roles, other sound-alikes I played that you'd mentioned before. There's no one right way, but there should be. And you're getting my brain going, which is why I'm kind of fumfering around here, because I'm thinking, yeah, people need to know. They should know.
Do you have a reel specifically for sound-alikes?
I have a 30 impressions in that less than 3 minutes reel. It's on camera.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, okay.
Which I tell the story of Little Red Riding Hood as different people, like everybody from John Candy, to Alan Rickman and Gene Wilder and Nathan Lane.
Right.
And, Leaving Droopy Dog.
Yeah.
So there's impressions there. There's that win. I mean, there's old stuff. There's new stuff. There's dead stuff. There's blue stuff.
Right. Very, 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 very cool. Not getting a lot of questions so far, so I shall go ahead and continue asking you some more. And, if nobody asks questions, and it's just you and me will chat, and everybody's just going to be looky-loos, and that's perfectly fine, too,
Yeah.
They could just look at our beautiful, handsome faces.
That's it.
Huh? I do? What? Let's look. What happened? Where is it? I don't know. I'm looking. There we go. Okay, so okay. What? This is coming from one of our viewers, Aaron Ogawa. What is your favorite Disney movie? Do you have one?
I love them all, I would say. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true, because I've not seen them all, so I can't love them all if I haven't seen them all. All the ones I've seen I love. One of my favorites is The Jungle Book.
I'm assuming the original, not the live-action one.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The original, because Phil Harris as Baloo the bear was just one. Bare necessities.
Yes.
And he had that warmth to his voice.
Right.
A little bit of crap in there.
Yeah.
Come on, Mowgli. And, Shere Khan was George Sanders. It's now Bagheera.
Bagheera. Oh, God. Yeah.
But I want to say it was played by the gentleman's gentleman from Family Affair. Uh, but I could be. I think I may be wrong.
You know
I know
what?
we can.
Just because I'm curious, I'm gonna look it
Yeah,
up
please.
right now.
Yeah, 'cause he was
Jungle,
so good.
Jungle Book,
Uh,
the Jungle Book, not 1942 Jungle Book.
no,
You,
he was in the
no,
50s
no,
or 60s.
no. What? Oh my gosh! You know, look, just typing in Jungle Book, I didn't realize that there's so many movies called the Jungle Book. This is
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
It's absolutely crazy.
I
Um,
know. I was thinking of Sebastian Cabot, but
that
I
might
don't think.
you might be right. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you're right. It was Sebastian Cabot.
How about that?
How
I
about that, ladies and gentlemen?
I beat Google.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, and it's because of the voices, the voice acting, and just the
Hmm.
warmth and the love and the fear. The danger was Shere Khan, but the joviality of Phil Harris as Baloo the bear, the warmth and the sound voice of Sebastian Cabot as Bagheera, the
Yeah.
way the animation was illustrated, the love that they had for this boy, and his naivete and his joy and the sweetness.
Yeah.
So that really sticks with me to this day.
Very, very cool. Um. mm, 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 mm. Oh, well, apparently, I don't know if Vanessa, I don't know if you attended, Vanessa, but I will go ahead and ask the question. Um, somebody apparently has seen your 30 impressions in 3 minutes video.
Yes.
Tabitha says hello.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, she likes my Alan Rickman. It's my guess. I could be wrong.
um, so, question from somebody from the UK.
Yeah.
She wants to know if you enjoyed your visit to SunnyCon when you attended a few years ago.
Very much so. I love everyone at Sunny, and I miss coming up there, and I would love to come back. I was in Sunderland.
Um, why you couldn't perform the role as Iruka Umino? Huh?
Mm.
Stephen, I'm not sure I understand the question because, to my knowledge, Quinton, you've always been Iruka, right?
Yes, except when it comes to the show Boruto.
Okay, maybe
Is that
that's what you meant. Um, uh, it, it, uh, we won't get into reasons why. I'm sure there's varied and stuff we don't necessarily need to get into.
So I can make it easy. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
No,
Oh,
it's beyond me.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's at a later date and time, and he's an older man. I think he makes a few guest appearances, so
Yeah.
I've been told.
Okay.
But I was out the country touring for a while before you and I ended up meeting up in Japan.
Hmm.
I was gone a lot that year, so it's a possibility they needed him and found someone else to
Yeah.
make a poor substitution.
I've got
How's
a
it-
great question for you, lad.
Hit
This
me.
is coming from Ben Shinfield in the UK. This is a fantastic question. Are you ready for this? You might have to strap yourself to your seat. Okay. If 100 years from now you were only remembered for one voice acting credit,
Hmm.
what character would you choose to be your voice acting legacy?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Right? That's a fantastic question.
It's a fantastic question. Geez, oh man, it might. I would probably say it would have to be the character Raiden from the Metal Gear series franchise,
Okay.
and it would be because he went from being a rookie, very much a novice in the beginning of the series, to a world-weary, war-torn cyborg ninja.
Oh, wow. Cool.
by the end. So you went from kind of this area to this area to this area.
Right.
And the storyline grew, changed, shifted. He found he had a child in the second segment of the game series. He himself was a boy warrior or a child soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And the last installment, I won a BTVA award for Best Male Voice Actor in a Game. So I thought, well,
that's awesome.
Folks have spoken many times, but there must be some legitimacy to this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I also know what I went through at the time, and it was very challenging. So I thought, I think I've hit on every emotion as an actor could during this process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, does it mean he's my favorite?
Right.
No, not necessarily.
Right.
But if you had to pick one, and this gentleman asked.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. That's why.
He also met you when you visited the UK a couple of years ago. Small convention outside of Sheffield, but he can't remember the name of it.
Well, it's a pleasure. I understand.
I don't know if this is being asked in the chat, but kind of along those same lines that Ben just asked, if there may not be based on the characters that you voiced, but I'm assuming based on the number of characters you voiced, there's probably one that's pretty close. Can you pick out any particular character you voiced that is most like you, Quinton?
Sure, that would be Axel.
Axel.
And from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Yeah. He's pretty much like me, right in this range, and when people hear me speak, they say, I hear Axel.
Right.
I'm sure you do.
Very cool.
And I hear me.
Yeah.
And Lee, but they're very similar. There's an attitudinal shift, but the longer I've done him, the more he's become me and I become him.
Yeah. Let's see.
By the way, as Stephen is looking for questions, folks, I want to thank you, Stephen, for having me on your show. You know, and I want you folks to know what a great service he's doing to you or for you while you are in the same, we're all in the same boat together.
Yeah.
But him doing this brings us all together, and that's a beautiful gift, and I just want to say thanks again.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Absolutely. Chrissy D. Donato. Hello, Chrissy. Welcome, first-time viewer. She wants to know if you ever expected Axel to become as popular as you did.
No, not a clue.
I know, right? None of us.
No, didn't know. And can only hope that it continues.
Yeah.
And someone had sent me a screen grab a few weeks back of an announcement about there being some kind of a Kingdom Hearts animated series.
Oh, an animated series? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. By Disney?
I think so,
hey,
because they...
you got it in!
Yeah.
There you go!
They showed a picture of 3 characters, and they said that confirmed voices were Jim Cummings, Bill Farmer, and the gentleman who does Donald.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't
Anselmo?
remember.
Last name is Anselmo?
Yeah. Tony.
Tony Anselmo. So, and that was like the gist of it. There was a picture of the characters, their names confirmed, and then it said, confirmation about the Kingdom Hearts series. And then there was nothing else. And so to a few people, I put it out there.
Right.
What do you guys know? Because you tend to find out before we do.
Yeah, Shara. Chime in, please. Shara's the Kingdom Hearts expert. She knows everything. Not a question, just more of a kudos to you that L'Oreal, who is watching us as we speak, you rocked as Iruka, so there you go.
Thank you.
Do you, this is coming from Tabitha, do you have a favorite impression that you like to do?
Right now, it would be Alan Rickman. Tabitha, you slay me. Ha ha. You're just as hysterical as Potter. Hmm. Pick up your magic stick and put it where the sun doesn't shine.
Oh my gosh, funny.
So there's that, and I do enjoy doing Gene Wilder.
Oh yeah.
He's much louder and broader, but yes, the other day I was asked what happens between jobs when I'm not working and I don't know what's happening, and I said, "What do I do? You want to know what I do? Oh, I need my blue blankie. Where's my blue blankie? Oh, right here. And my monster's in the other room. Leave me alone. I need help, mommy."
Yay!
Thank you so much, Derek Stephen Prince. You're so kind. Remind me of my dear late beloved Gilda.
Oh. Hmm.
So there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Where's some obscure impressions for our audience?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Ta, 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 Do you have a favorite? Yeah, I don't know because there's been so many of them. But do you have a favorite Kingdom Heart moment that you actually remember when you were recording?
Exactly. Crickets are chirping.
Brooklyn flight number 2943 getting ready for takeoff.
Well, I do remember, like, Axel getting crushed essentially in the final installment that we were all in, or maybe it was Lee. Forgive me, but going down, and getting. I'm trying to think if it was my hand was getting crushed. What part of me? We should ask the fans. What part of me or Lee was getting crushed?
Yes.
And I remember that moment. I have not revisited it because I don't have a platform, so I don't have the game.
Mm-hmm.
I have the game. I'm sorry, but I don't have the platform. I have a sealed game on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a moment for me. Also, when I became Lee, in a retro flashback when he was younger, that sticks with me. Breaking the fourth wall as Axel, that was a memory and a moment for me because what character does that?
Right.
Because when Jiminy Cricket popped up, I was like, oh, come on. Really? Enough of this. So, yeah. There's a few moments.
Very cool. Oh, somebody said, hey, Mariah, welcome. I guess the animated series is supposed to be coming to Disney.
That's
Plus,
good news.
Disney Plus.
Well, I know, but I wonder what that means to us.
Yeah,
Does that mean
I don't know what that means to us.
Characters that be in?
I would hope so. But
because it's all Disney and Square Enix merged to create it,
right? And
so
and my for you fans, where does this series actually take place? Between all the games, after the games, before the games? That could possibly have something to do with whether we have any involvement in it at all either. Because your character came in on the second game, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let us see.
So I put my glasses on because I look far smarter. More respectable.
Let's see. Sydney. Sydney's asking a question. Let's see. I don't think you and I have ever run into each other than cons, have we?
No. Well, if we did, we could have, but then again, it could be my brain making
it may have been like a hi-bye type thing, as is
been,
normally the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at least in getting to know you, getting to know
Know all
about you.
about you.
Um, that was probably a couple years ago, right? At our first convention together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
I can't remember which one
Sacramento.
it was, but
Sac Anime.
was it
Sac Anime.
Sac Anime? Oh, that's right.
Yes. Sacramento, California. That's when
Yes.
we had met before that and chatted before, but we hadn't seen each other in a while. But that was a time when we really connected and we really got to chat.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then it would be later after because we were talking about how to do more conventions and shows, and I think that's when I turned you on to Kelly.
Yes. Awesome. Let's see. Du-du-du-dum. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this one question for both of us, only because I think Quinton is in the same boat as I am, where it's like any work you get is great work. It doesn't matter as long as you get paid.
Right.
So I can't remember who was asking, but somebody was asking the question. Since the 1,000-Year War has been talked about so much with the Bleach fans and coming back into anime after being gone for 10 years, would we want to come back if we were asked to reprise our roles? No, you don't want to come back as Khan, do you?
I don't want to. I wish I'd come back as Khan. Forget about it. No. Are you guys kidding me? Of course I would.
Yeah.
You're all numbskulls. That's the nicest thing I can say. I love you.
I will ask you. I'm assuming, like all of us, you had to audition for the character, yes?
Yes.
How did you come up with that? Like, was that the first voice that came out? Like, when you saw... Because I'm assuming you saw at least a picture, right?
Yeah.
And when you had to do the sides... Well, here's an interesting thing, because I know for most of the anime that comes over here, they usually just lift out, like, lines from the first 10 episodes, and that's it. And then you have nothing after that, so you really don't know any arc of the character. What do you even remember, like... Was it just the lion, the small lion version of him, or did you have the lion small version and the actual human version of him? Do you even remember it?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
I remember the lion version. Like, I don't know if they showed me the adult version. They might have. This was the voice I created for Cone the bear, or the lion.
Yeah,
the bear.
Nope.
The lion.
It is the lion. Yeah.
It is the lion.
Yeah.
The reason I want to say bear is because we're so used to teddy bears.
Right.
That's what growing up. He is a plushie. He is a lion. Yes, he has the little long lion tail and the fuzzy head.
So for some reason, when I saw him, I saw that.
And that was the voice I came up with and thought,
boom.
He's a tough guy. And he's a sweet guy.
And then I segued into whatever adult voice they wanted me to do at the time. And of course, he pined for Rukia. And I think that as an adult, I had to make him sound similar to Johnny's character.
Yes.
But not exactly alike.
Right.
And so that was always confusing to me because he did not have an adult male voice very often.
Yeah. And did you... I don't know why I'm remembering this so vividly when we had to do the auditions. Did you have to do a callback for him? Or was that pretty much it? Just a one shot and then they just picked you?
I think, but I could be incorrect. I think that was the one shot.
Okay.
Because I don't recall having to redo or do it again. I think I'd remember that, but I have a spotty memory sometimes.
Don't we all? As we get older.
Yes.
Woo. Okay. Let us see what other people have come in and said.
Yes, let us now talk like this the whole time, the rest of the time.
The rest of the
O'Connor Hogan, yes.
Okay, so Question for you, just me asking
Yes,
a question. So when you were taking your first voiceover class while you were still in college, yes? It was like in between semester,
Yeah, just after.
in between
Mhm.
or whatever. But
Between Cleveland and LA.
how
Yeah.
did you learn, or have you always done, based on you doing impressions? Have you always done accents, or did you kind of learn that later on? How'd that happen?
I started to learn them similarly to how I learned impressions, by ear, by practice. And I attribute it to the eye-hand coordination of copying things as a child,
Mm.
drawing,
Oh, okay.
and in my brain and my, with our auditory skills
Yeah.
and repetition. It's a musicality, and I'm a musical guy. So the way I learned is by doing. And it would come later through some coursework in college and some outside help where I get some tools to try to learn other various accents.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always found it easier to listen to somebody else, watch them, take on their persona and their rhythm and musicality. So I have almost that illustration in my head.
Interesting.
Kind of like,
Which is why you're
Slim.
so good at them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
But that's, and if it's Southern, then maybe, well, I think of my cousin Helen. Now, my cousin Helen's got a certain way of speaking, even though this is not her vocal tone. Honey, let me tell you something. I will take that skinny thing and I will wrap her around like a pretzel and I will beat her like a steak into the ground. So that's a subtle Houston accent.
Right.
Whereas I've got kind of a dumb Southern accent, kind of a sweetheart Roger Miller thing that I got going there.
Right.
And then there's Slim Pickens, kind of a add a little texture thing there. Oh, woohoo! We're gonna do this thing. I'm gonna hang out with Derek Stephen Prince in Japan of all places, and we're gonna burn the mother down and paint the mother pink.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But when I get stuck on something, I go to YouTube. But I should probably just pick up the phone and call you. Actually, it would be smarter.
Oh, dude, I've got something for you. Actually, for anybody who is an aspiring voice actor / actress, I've got a website. Let me tell you what it is. It is called dialectsarchive.com.
Cool.
This thing is incredible because, we both had auditions where they're asking for a specific type of accent. There is literally every single accent you can think of on this website. And it's not people pretending to be like that person from that country. It's actual people from those countries.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. It's great. So,
and are there video clips or just audio clips?
Just audio clips. Yeah.
Oh, great. So you get to really focus in.
Yep. So dialectsarchive.com for all of you potential aspiring voice actor people. That is where you can go.
For all your dialect needs.
For all your dialect needs.
There's our commercial right there. For all your dialect needs.
Somebody has recognized you. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Quinton Flynn played many roles on Rugrats All Grown Up.
Oh, yes, I did. I did. And it was so long ago, I can't remember what I played and who I played. But I did play. And I'm happy to play.
Yes. Have you ever been in, because I didn't delve too deep, have you ever been in the Marvel franchise per se?
Yes.
Okay.
I started the early 90s as the Human Torch on the Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And Flame On! So that was great. I got to play Spider-Man in Marvel's Ultimate Alliance.
In the first Ultimate Alliance. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's my boyhood hero.
Nice.
I got to play
Venom in Spider-Man, friend or foe.
Also Malekith the Accursed in the Avengers, Anvil, Arcade. They're both villains. And then there's at least one other one. Well, there's, oh gosh. We were just talking about him from Cartoon Hookups.
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool.
Deadpool, right. Right.
Deadpool.
Yep.
And there's one more villain that I can't recall. So that there's about 8 characters I've played in the Marvel Universe.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And yeah.
Did you ever have the opportunity to meet Stan Lee?
I did.
Yeah.
A couple of times. The first time was in '94 when we were doing the animated series. He came in. The marketing part of the company was great at the time. They gave us cells.
Oh,
you know.
Cool.
They also gave us promotional posters. I received a tie, which I still have to this day.
Really?
With the Fantastic Four on it. Yeah.
Nice.
And then Stan came and chatted with us all, and I thought to have him sign my script of the day. And so he wrote in fine form, and I have to do his voice in my head as I write it.
Of course.
He's like, to the titanically talented Quinton Flynn. Which, if any of you out there read Marvel Comics, those the way those, you know, that kind of alliteration is the way he would have his characters speak. And that was lovely. Then many years later, we would meet at another convention, and the final time we spoke was after a convention where we were discussing my possible attendance at one of his conventions.
Oh, wow.
He was always a lovely man.
Yeah.
You know, he was always very sweet and very kind. I have nothing but good things to say about him and good memories.
Yeah. And you have also voiced a couple of characters from the Star Wars franchise for some of the video games. Yes?
I have. I've made guest appearances, but I've yet to do C-3PO, which would be a lot of fun, you know.
Absolutely.
Oh my, what are you doing? Why are you not watching the Derek Stephen Prince show? Are you an idiot? The answer,
I don't remember when you did all the stuff, but similar question. Did you ever have the opportunity to meet George Lucas?
No, I have not. But I have a friend who did, so I'm 1 degree of separation.
1 degree of separation. There you go.
Yeah, Josh Robert Thompson.
Okay. Very cool. Let us see. Let us
see. Let us see. Have you met the Lucas man yourself?
I have not. No, I have yet to be a part of either of those two.
Okay.
Illustrious franchises.
All in good time.
All in good time. Yes. Knock knock. Oh, interesting question, Ben. Okay, so also from the UK, Ben, same person who met you in Sheffield.
Yeah.
In the years of recording voices, was there ever a moment where you almost tossed in the towel, or a session became too much for you?
Well, let me think. I can think of a session that was very, very challenging and almost too much for me. It was a game series. The name escapes me. It'll come to me, but I played a character named Rexus Ragespear. Oh, it was the Guild Wars series. And I believe I played, it was Guild Wars 2, maybe Guild Wars 3. I played Rexus Ragespear and another character named Arlen. And Arlen, of course, was from England, so I loved Arlen. But Rexus Ragespear was very much a throat ripper. I think I have even a mind-body association to that, where I couldn't drink enough hot tea, water, or get enough breaks. It just tore me apart. I think the end result was a fine character, but that was challenging.
We shall let you know we're both playing that game right now.
Your kid, really?
No, yeah.
And have you heard Rexus yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Which, Guild Wars 2?
Yeah, Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll hear Arlen and Rexus.
Arlen
that will
and
be
Rexus. Okay.
Yeah, Prince Arlen, I believe.
Prince Arlen.
And so that was rough.
Yeah.
And to answer your question about throwing in the towel, there would be times, it wouldn't be from being in a session. It would be because of not being in a session, not working, being frustrated, wondering, why am I doing this? Where am I in my life? More of the existential angst and crisis of life itself, and where should I be? What am I doing? Am I really contributing? Gosh, I feel lost.
Mm-hmm.
That would be when I would think of leaving
Yeah. Yeah.
the industry, with huge uncertainty. But with that comes everything else, not just the career, but life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
So, with everything as it's been going for the past 3 months,
Yeah, almost 4.
yeah, going on 4. How I'm assuming voice acting hasn't completely stopped for you, right? You have a studio that is set up.
Home studio set up. have done 2. How do I say it? Two jobs, I'll say.
Yeah.
So I can speak in a general way,
Right.
without revealing what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been it.
Wow.
That said, there were a lot of changes going on with my former agency that I was unaware of, as were my peers.
Right.
And depending on what agency you're with, the extent to which you or one auditions is dependent upon that, in terms of how much copy they're getting in, how active they are, how much they're sending to us, is how much opportunity we have to swing the bat.
Of course.
That said, it's been very little for me, so it's been challenging to keep myself active.
Yeah.
I don't do outside sources, although there are those, like voices.com, Voices123. I've heard of something called Fiverr. So that's the most I can offer up in terms of what I'm aware of. But yeah, it's been very hard, as you know.
What are you doing to stay busy?
Well, I do a lot of Zoom meetings. I do interviews like this with you when I can, when I'm so lucky and asked. I'm blessed. I call and check in with family and friends. I try to be creative and get myself up to that. At this point, I've been editing together new demos for my new search for a new representation.
Right.
And then my head's going, oh, you should probably have added this, because it sounds more like just a gaming demo. But remember, you have this character voice, and you played Elma Fudd in Robot Chicken. That would be fun to add Elma, And I didn't do that. Why didn't you do that? I don't know. What will they think? I'm not sure. Can you read their minds? No, but I think I can. Holy shit. So it's a lot of that.
Right.
It's a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
And I think, well, Derek and Lauren, I'm sure they're grand. They're just fine, happy. They're floating along in a mysterious way. And I don't even know what song that is. I'm just making it up.
Okay, so are you binging anything?
Yes, coffee. Right now.
Besides coffee.
Well,
are you in anything?
I'm not.
No?
I'm not, but I feel like I should be, because I think that would give me some kind of structure that I don't otherwise have. But I could be wrong. I will say the closest thing I've come to binging has been a 1967-68 series called The Prisoner, starring the late Patrick McGowan.
Yeah. Okay.
He was Danger Man in the UK, Secret Agent Man in the US.
Right.
He was the one who said, I am not a number. I will not be debriefed, indexed, plastered, beaten, buggered, shagged. I will not be your prom dress. You cannot hold me up and throw me into a corner. I'm a man, a free man.
This just came into my head, considering all the impressions that you do.
Please.
Because I would say the majority of them, correct me if I'm wrong, are actors, speaking actors.
Yes.
Do you do any impressions of actual singers?
I said, a great question. You know, I did a little bit back in the day when I was in cover bands in the
Yeah.
80s. Like I remember doing Billy Idol when I would do Rebel
Okay.
Yell. You know, I don't know if I can pull it out at this point. Let me see. See, so Billy, you know, because Billy Idol. I mean, if I'm talking like Billy Idol, right? He's about here, tenor-wise, and he'd say, Derek, Stephen Prince, I want my MTV. And then when he would sing, it would be like, in the midnight hour, she cried, mo, 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 with a rebel yell, mo, mo, mo.
Right, right. Awesome.
That's definitely not Quinton singing. Yeah. Yeah, some singing impressions, sing-alikes. That's a challenge. Do you?
I do.
Hit me.
Sweet Caroline, don't,
Yeah.
good time never been so good.
So good, so good, so good.
And then there's
I love
one of my personal favorites. Maybe I didn't tell you
Oh, the Willie Nelson, yes.
all those lonely, lonely times.
Brilliant.
And then of course there's Carol Channing. You know, everybody loves Carol Channing. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's so precious. I love her.
Did you ever meet him?
I've never met Carol Channing. I actually when we were doing. Oh, good God. Oh no, it wasn't actually for. It was when I first came back out here to Los Angeles, and I was doing sketch comedy at that LA connection.
I was there too. Did we not talk about
No.
that? We'll have to talk about it.
But so one of the things that I came up with was a Carol Channing skit where I would dressed up like her and did a whole.
Yeah, I wonder, we might have been there at the same time and not even known each other. It's possible.
You were probably there a little before me. I was there at the same time. Do you know Cedric Yarborough from Reno 911?
I didn't watch
Oh,
Reno,
okay.
but I have two friends who were
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it. Was he
Yeah,
on it?
he was the African American cop
Okay.
that was just
Yeah.
crazy good. But yeah, we were in the
Okay.
same quote unquote class together, so to speak.
Sure. Well, I know when I was there, Will Ferrell was there for a short
Oh,
period.
was he?
He and I did movie dubbing
Oh wow!
along with my friend Mike Hogan, who's a stand-up comic. But yeah, a lot of stories from that time. A lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff Nimoy, who directed me in a lot of anime
Yep.
series, was there
And
at the same
and
time.
Bob Buchholz was there at the same
Bob
time.
Buchholz.
Hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm going back to your impressions, and you're making me think of Tom Petty.
Oh,
I don't know. Just sometimes, somewhere, somebody must have kicked you around some.
yeah. There you go.
You don't have to live like a refugee.
Come on, everybody. Tom Petty. I want to say welcome to Behind the Voice Actors, or Behind the Curtain, or Behind the Voices. I think that's what Dick Stephen Prince calls it. One of my most favorite actors in the whole wide world. Everybody give it up for Derek Stephen Prince. That's how Tom would
You're
have done
too
it.
kind. You're too kind.
Thank
Um.
On Galway Bay.
Oh, Mariah, going along with your little comment there, she was saying Vexen and Axel should do a duet of something sometime. I believe this is on YouTube. If I'm not, maybe it might. I don't know. It might not be on YouTube. We should put it on YouTube if it's not there. The the intro to what was it? The Macbeth. The intro to Macbeth that you and I and Paul did together at C4 back in
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, was
Yeah,
that
it was.
recorded?
It was recorded. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah, it's funny. let us see if there's anything.
When you say that, you're reminding me of the late great Peter Sellers in what is it? The Bomb and How I Learned to Love It. Dr. Strangelove.
Oh yeah.
You sound like Dr. Strangelove when you're saying, "Let me see." How did you do it? Yeah.
I don't even know what I was doing. It's crazy.
That's it. That's it right there. That's Dr. Strange. That's Peter Sellers.
And then of course, you know, if they ever bring Timon and Pumbaa back,
yes, that could be.
It could be Timon.
Yeah. My Pumbaa, you're wonderful. What are you doing, you crazy bastard?
When I was a young warthog.
When he was a young warthog.
Oh dear. Okay, question. Got a question here, and then we'll probably start wrapping things up like a piece of bacon around a something or other.
Hot dog.
I don't know.
A hot dog.
A hot dog.
Yeah, I like bacon, hot dog, and mayonnaise.
If you did not go into voiceover,
Ah, yes.
what can you imagine yourself doing?
Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, it's definitely, I'd have to be doing something in the entertainment industry. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And because of what we do as voice actors, and for those of you out there who don't know, Derek and I also have theatrical backgrounds. So we have acting, singing, movement, you know, so all of this, I'd be doing something like this. If you're asking what would I do outside the entertainment industry, and money were not an issue, I would go into psychology.
Really?
And be a practicing psychologist.
Okay. There you go. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
If people after today would like to follow you on any of your social media, where can they do that?
Well, they can do so. Twitter is at Quinton Flynn.
Okay.
And I'll spell my name out once just for people who are listening. It's QUINTONFLYNN. Why does that make sense, folks? Think of it like this. Quinn weighs a ton, and you're in like Flynn.
There you go.
Maybe the other way, visually.
Right.
But that said, that's my Twitter is at Quinton Flynn. My Instagram is at Quinton Flynn, the number 1. I do have a Facebook fan page. And if you'd like me to do any video shout outs to you, and I do thorough ones where I get into character, you can hit me up on Cameo.
Oh, sweet.
And how do you find my Cameo link? It's pinned to my Twitter page, and it's also on my Instagram page.
Awesome. And
Cameo and Flynn.
I do remember this question came in earlier this week, but the person wanted to make sure that I asked you. I'm not sure if, Charlie, you're on or not. If somebody would like to have an autograph signed by you, how do they go about doing that?
I would suggest contacting me via Instagram.
Okay.
Just, direct message, and I'll find it. And we will exchange pleasantries, address, and financial remuneration. Thank you, remuneration.
Remuneration. Yeah.
We'll do it this way until I have a website on the means for you to do it another way.
Oh, awesome. Are there any last words, my friend, that you would like to share with everybody? Something to get them through this crazy thing we call quarantine, or just anything else that you might want to add?
Well, because it didn't occur to me till we were just having this conversation, I would say maybe write down friends and or family names that you have of people that you can reach out to, that you may want to reach out to, or call friends you haven't spoken to in a long time, like you, I'm thinking of. Because as I was saying what I was saying about, well, you and Lauren must be just, everything's fine, you're footloose and fancy free, you know, you're just, everything's groovy. You're probably in the same boat that I am, or anybody else is. And that this really is such a gift for us to be able to communicate.
Absolutely.
I thought, by your reaction, I'm like, oh, Stephen's in the same boat I am. It's not unique to me. So folks out there, I would say try to keep in touch with the ones you love. Friends and family, that's really what it means at the end of the day, you know, and the end of a life. Good friends, good family, good times, joy, laughter. It can't hurt to probably binge watch something, as Stephen was talking about. Get into something you're really interested in, be it a TV series or movies. I watched a documentary on Rush, the band, the other night, and I highly recommend it because it's really a story of friendship and, you know, even getting over loss. So with that, I would just say thanks for the good vibes, the good feelings, the good love. Keep it coming. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, follow.
Yes.
By all means, keep in touch and ask about Derek and myself for different conventions when they're back in action. And in the meantime, reach out to us in your time of need, and I'll see what I can do to make things better.
Absolutely. Very well said, my friend. Stay on while I wrap things up with everybody, just so I can chat with you for a couple of minutes after and give you some golden nuggets that you might be able to use for the remainder of the week. But for the rest of you guys, thank you for joining us today. I think the Facebook Live stream went very well with very few technical difficulties, if any. So for that, I thank you for joining us today. Please, please, please be good humans. Keep your feet on the ground. Reach for the stars. Mwah. I love you. Take care. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.